prior to today, I've made a decision. I had decided to keep my grief private and home. But today, I have to record. I want the world to know what a mother goes through when your child is stolen and executed for no reason. India Kager, my daughter, was 27 years old. 27, my baby. Sitting in a car at a 7-Eleven with my 4-month-old grandson Roman in the backseat. Virginia Beach Police SWAT, not a regular uniform team, the SWAT team ambushed my daughter's car, blocked her car. They threw a flashbang grenade at her car, knowing she was in the car, knowing my grandson was in the car. They fired 30 rounds. Who does that? How do you do that? You know, as a woman in a car. How do you do that? 30 rounds. And they executed my baby in less than 3 hours of her being in Virginia Beach. She lived here in Maryland with us. And they won't release the names of the officers. There were 4 SWAT officers fired on her with Virginia Beach Police, but there were many more involved. How do you have a conscience? How do you do this? Please help me. Please help me. I have 2 grandsons. Roman, he was in the car. India protected him. She had bullet wounds in her back. I've seen her pictures. In her back. My daughter turned. In her back. Oh God, help me. I can't even tell you how bad this hurts. There are no words to articulate this. I'm gonna put it out. I won't stop fighting for my baby. I won't stop fighting for India. I won't stop fighting for Roman. I won't stop fighting for Evan. And I won't stop fighting for Mr. Perry because he did not have due process of law. There was no arrest warrant out for him. But my daughter was in the car. They saw her. They took her life. Why? Why? How do you do that? And you have a conscience. How do you do that? They're with their families. I don't have my baby. Please help me. Please.
After seeing that TikTok of India's mother, I immediately became interested in her case. I did some research, found out some things. I'm going to present to you guys the information surrounding her case. I do believe that she was also a participant of ride or die culture that's very prevalent within our Black community. Present to you some details and then come back with my opinion about why I think that is. Stay tuned for the commentary. India Kager was a young mother with 2 kids living in Maryland. She was a retired Navy veteran working at the post office, according to her Facebook page. She was dating Angelo Perry, with whom she shared a child with. On September 5, 2015, India and Perry drove from Maryland to Virginia Beach. SWAT officers planned a vehicle takedown procedure against Perry. Perry was a known violent criminal, guilty of shootings, robbery, and homicide. Officers believed Perry was about to commit murder that night and believed Kager was driving him to the location. When Kager pulled into a 7-Eleven, a police vehicle hit the back of Kager's car. Officers descended, threw a flash grenade, and smashed the windows. Perry started shooting at officers, and officers returned fire. The police fired over 30 rounds, killing India and Angelo. Luckily, the baby was not hurt because India shielded him from the bullets.
It was Perry that placed Kager and their child in danger.
She was a wonderful mother. She has 2 beautiful children left behind. She was just a very, very interesting, hard-working person.
The Commonwealth's attorney says there is absolutely no information showing that India Kager was participating in illegal activity. He says she was hit by 7 to 8 gunshots, but the medical examiner can't tell which rounds that hit her went through Perry. Erin Kelly, 10 on your side.
Thank you, Aaron. A little more now on why Angelo Perry was wanted by police in the first place. Back in December, police told 10 on Your Side that Perry committed a series of robberies with the same gun. 2 crimes resulted in the murder charges. The victims, Guy Cuffey and Devontae Snowden, both in August of last year. It all ended with police shooting Perry on September 5th.
4 Virginia Beach police officers found negligent in the shooting death of India Kager, a Navy veteran.
We have a jury verdict showing that, she mattered. She mattered to this world, and I think the family feels some measure of relief and vindication.
In September 2015, police shot and killed India Kager and Angelo Perry outside of a 7-Eleven. Kager was the driver of the car. Perry, who police said was a violent criminal, was the passenger.
He had shot numerous people, 2 of whom he killed. He was on his way to do the exact thing.
Police weren't aware the couple's child was in the back seat of the car. The child was not hurt. Jurors ruled the city of Virginia Beach should pay Kager's family $800,000. Before the trial started, the city offered to settle for $750,000. Kager's family turned down the settlement.
India Kager was more than a number. We were trying to get a recognition that this was a badly executed SWAT takedown and that it should never happen again. And if there's a takeaway, we hope that they have learned something from it and they'll improve going forward.
Now that we know the details surrounding the situation that unfolded that night, now that we know his background, Angelo Perry's background, do I believe that India Kager and her baby should have been in that vehicle? Absolutely not. Do I believe that the cops should have shot into that vehicle not knowing who was all in that vehicle? Absolutely not. Do I believe that they should be held accountable both civilly and criminally? Absolutely, because they shot into a vehicle not knowing who was all in there. And they also did it in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven, which means other people could have been hit. So it was reckless. Do I believe that India knew about Angelo's background? Absolutely. That's a lot for somebody to be committing and you not know anything. And this is why I say ride or die culture. When you participate or get in a relationship with someone who does illegal activity, you are at risk as well as your children are at risk of being kidnapped, murdered, or any other type of act that can be committed against somebody who's in a relationship with a violent person. And that's exactly what he was. I don't blame India for her murder. I do believe that there is some responsibility to be held by her regarding her choices in choosing to be with a man that participates in these types of activities, which is why I said she was a participant in ride or die culture. I think we can all walk away from this situation knowing that, what happened to her shouldn't have happened, that people should be held accountable. But at the same time, we do need to come back to the Black community to say, hey, we need to stop participating in ride or die culture, because this is an example of that. You don't always make it out alive. Sometimes it's the children as well. There have been cases where both the mother and the children have died, and the father who was participating in the illegal activity has survived. So I think this is a learning situation for our community. My thoughts go out to the mother. I know she's extremely hurt. I wish this hadn't happened. I'm glad the baby survived. But I do believe that Angelo Perry participated in those illegal activities. And, he shouldn't have been killed or murdered or shouldn't have got shot. It would have been best if they could have just arrested everybody without pulling out their guns. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. My thoughts go out to the mother and the family, and rest in peace, India Kager. And I hope her children are prospering and doing well, and they're getting the mental health that they may need from having known that this is how their mother and father left the world. Rest in peace, India Kager.